Well, hey guys, it's time for another Niche Modeler. Let's get started with my next project. Well, hey guys, and welcome back to another Niche Modeler. In this video, I'm going to head back to the Star Wars universe, working on a couple of Bandai kits. I'm going to be working on this 000 kit, and I'm going to be modifying this R4-I9 kit to create his counterpart, BT-1. Now, if you're not familiar with 000, and by the way, this was an exclusive kit at last year's 2019 San Diego Comic-Con, he is a character who appears in the Star Wars comics universe, particularly the Darth Vader series. And he is a protocol droid who looks just like C-3PO, except that he's metallic black, he's got red eyes, and he's been programmed to torture people. So, taking a quick look at the kit, you can see it is the same kit as C-3PO with the exception of the color. He's molded in this nice glossy black finish, and comes with the red clear pieces for his eyes. I'll be lighting his eyes by using some pico-size SMDs from ModelTrainSoftware.com. As I build this kit, I'll have to spend time drilling holes and make accommodations for the wiring as I piece them together. Now, I haven't built any of Bandai's droid kits before, but if this kit is like their other models, it should be a pretty straightforward assembly process. Now, as I indicated earlier, 000 has a counterpart, much like C-3PO has R2-D2, and as such, he shares basically the same body as R2-D2, which is why I'm going to be using this R4-I9 kit, which comes molded in a darker plastic. Let's go ahead and take a look inside this kit. So the kit is the same as the R2 kit, but comes with two options for the head. The cone-shaped head as seen on the cover, and a conventional semisphere that is seen with the R2 droids. As you can see, the details are what we've come to expect from Bandai. They are exceptional, as always. The kit comes with one other detail that you can add, and that's this carrying tray, like we saw on Jabba's yacht. Now, taking a look at BT-1's head, it resembles those seen with R5 units. You know, the one with the bad motivator. The head is not semi-spherical, but squattier with sharper lines and corners. BT differs from R5 both with the overall design, and as you can see, he also has one large eye, which glows red. Now, actually, I had no intention on building the BT unit, but I knew I had this R4 kit in my stash. And so I decided to go online about a week ago and just see if anyone actually has created an STL file of a BT unit. So I went on Thingiverse, and sure enough, someone has. This particular file also separates the droid into various parts, so I was able to take the neck piece and the head and scale it down appropriately. The head was printed in clear resin, so I should be able to light block and mount a red LED inside. Now, the R4 kit is molded in a dark blue, which will have to be painted over since BT is black. I plan on using Tamiya's metallic black for this. The trim is silver for the most part, with a couple of reddish accents, and I plan on using Vallejo's Mecha Red for that. And the other thing that's going to be fun to work on is the display base. To make it more interesting, I used my 3D printer to replicate some walls from the Death Star. Now, I created two walls. The first is this light wall, and because my Elegoo Mars is limited in size, I had to print it in two pieces. These were then glued onto a white, thin piece of styrene plastic. Again, because of the limitation in size, I decided to print the other one in pieces as well. The light wall is going to be illuminated by these strip LEDs that I purchased from HDA Modelworx. Okay, before we get started now with 000, I want to make a couple notes here, some editing notes. I began the project with using red SMDs that I ordered from Evan Designs. And I had forgotten that when you order red SMDs, they have to come with a resistor. And I figured when I started the project, I could carry this through by snipping off the resistor and then adding extensions along the way so that I can get the wire to extend through the body of 000. Unfortunately, right where I needed to extend the wires was at the knee, and there was no way I was going to end up with being able to solder some extra wire and trying to fit them into that small little space there. So I actually had to stop the project and wait for some new SMDs from Evan Designs that were warm white, and those do not come with resistors, so I'd highly recommend that's what you do. Do not bother with the red ones. The project comes with these red lenses. I don't know what I was thinking. I figured I'd just make them redder. I don't know, but it's really not worth the effort. So if you're going to order them pre-wired, order the warm whites. What I like about SMDs from Evan Designs is that they use that very thin magnet wire, and it's perfect for this project. It just gets through all the little nooks and crannies and holes that we have to drill for this, and does a really good job with that. One other note I want to make here is check out the link below for Christopher Olson. He's got a YouTube channel, and he does this very project here with 000, and he does a really good job with outlining all his steps. Mine's going to follow his steps, but it's going to be a little bit of an abbreviated version of what he does, at least on video it's going to be, but he does a really good job describing what he is doing, so check out the link below. Alright, so with that said, what I'm going to do now is proceed with 000, and I'm just going to try to outline the steps as I go along here and break it down that way to make it easy for you to follow along. Okay, so this is the piece now that we'll mount the SMDs into, and we have to create an opening here for the wires to feed through, both through these sockets and through the center. So using a pin vise, I opened up a hole in each of the sockets and cleared away the bottom section, and I placed the SMDs into the sockets, securing them with super glue. Before attaching the front faceplate, holes need to be drilled into this piece, which is what holds the red lenses in place. Once the piece is pushed into position, it's time to do a quick light test. This neck piece holds the head to the body, and a hole needs to be drilled through to allow for the wires. And that's how it continues to proceed, drilling a hole now through the chest piece to get the wires through to the abdomen section. Okay, just a quick stop here now. I fed the wires through the neck and the upper torso. As it's just about to add this chest plate now, I noticed that the model comes with 2 of these, and if you look at our instructions for 000, it says to discard parts 25 and 26, so we are instead going to use part 22. Alright, next is his waist here, and you see there's a ball joint that's going to connect everything. So in order for our wires to get through, we have to drill through here, but we also have to cut out this section. Now, you could use a Dremel for this, but the one thing about a Dremel, that does spin fairly quickly and it tends to melt the plastic. And you can see it didn't take much time to do this, we're already through. So let's go ahead and snap this together. And now let's run our wires through. Okay, I wanted to stop here to make a couple comments here about the knee section, which has been the most difficult part of this process of getting the wires through. I had to set the camcorder aside for this as I concentrated on doing that, so I apologize I don't have any footage on this, but essentially what you've got going on is this. You've got 3 pieces that make up this joint, and the wire has to come through here. So there's a center pin that makes it difficult to drill straight through, so you have to go around that pin. The best way to accomplish that is to chip away or get rid of some of the side plastic on this piece here. It's a similar piece, and by doing so allows you to pass the wire through and around that pin and then down through the bottom. So again, I apologize I don't have any footage for this particular step, but if you do want to see more details about it, check out Christopher Olson's video. He does a great job outlining this step. I just followed his lead on this. Let's move on now to complete 000 by finishing up that lower leg. Alright, so he is completed now, and just did a quick light test here for his eyes just to be sure they're still working, and thank goodness they are. Alright guys, well that does it for this video. As I've completed now 000, in the next video I'll be working on modifying that R4-I9 kit to create his counterpart BT-1, and I'll be working on the display base as well as we complete this project. So if you have any questions, feel free to contact me here on my YouTube channel or at illustratormodeler@gmail.com. Thanks again for watching guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.